Okay, so imagine for a second an online store where you could get almost anything for up to 99% off. I know, it sounds completely nuts, but there's a new platform called the Digital Shopping Mall that claims it has actually cracked the code. So, how on earth does something like that even work? Let's dive in. Right, this is the big, bold promise. The one that makes you stop and think, no way. Can you really get 99% off the stuff you buy? That's the huge claim we're going to unpack here. And just to be super clear on what we're talking about, picture an item that normally costs $2,000. The idea here is that you could get it for just 20 bucks. That's the level of mind-blowing discount we are exploring. So how in the world is that even possible? Well, this isn't your typical add-to-cart shopping experience. The whole system is built around a really unique pre-order mechanism that kind of flips the usual rules on their head. And the absolute key to everything is something they call a digital shopping point, or DSP for short. You can think of it as the platform's own internal currency. You don't actually pay cash to get the discount. Instead, you use DSP to lock in your pre-order, and then you wait for the value of that DSP to go up. So, from a user's point of view, it looks like this. First, you find a deal you want. Then, you pre-order it using your DSP. Now, this is where it gets interesting. You wait. Your deal only closes when the platform's overall value has grown enough to cover your discount. Once that happens, boom, the item is all yours. Now, you might be thinking, hey, this kind of sounds like layaway, but it's actually completely different. With layaway, you're stuck making multiple payments until you've paid the full price. Here, you just make one DSP payment and then you wait for its value to grow. Plus, and this is a huge deal, you can cancel your pre-order whenever you want and get all of your DSP back. That's a game changer. And that, of course, leads us to the biggest, most important question of all. If the person shopping isn't paying more money, what's the engine that's actually driving up this value? You know, how can $20 magically turn into $2,000?
Let's just be direct about it. If the shoppers aren't putting more cash in, that value has to be coming from somewhere else. The entire model's success or failure really hangs on the answer to this one question.
So, the answer is all about creating a massive, massive demand for DSP, and they plan to do it from a bunch of different angles. It's a whole ecosystem. You've got bulk orders that drive down wholesale prices, businesses looking for smaller, quicker discounts, and a huge affiliate program where, get this, all the commissions are paid out in DSP. That locks the value right back into the system. Even their charity program is designed to funnel demand back to the platform. And you can see from their projections how this is all supposed to work. The biggest drivers they're counting on are the appeal of those wholesale prices and that big affiliate program. See how they make up the majority? It's all designed to create this self-feeding loop. The more people use the platform, the more demand there is for DSP, which in turn drives up its value. But, and this is a really important reality check, the folks behind this are pretty clear that the 99% discount is mostly an extreme example, a marketing hook. They actually expect most users, especially businesses that need supplies quickly, to go for much smaller, faster discounts. Think 10 or 20%. And that behavior is absolutely key to making the whole thing work in the long run. Yeah, this whole thing isn't designed to just pop up and be an overnight success. The creators have laid out a long-term vision for how this ecosystem is going to grow and mature, and it's all built on a multi-year timeline. They're projecting a 3-year path to get to what they call maturity. The first couple of years are all about just building a user base, getting people on board, and letting those network effects start to kick in organically. It's really not until year 3 that the model expects to hit that critical mass, where the demand for DSP becomes really powerful and, well, sustainable. So let's tie this all back to that wild 99% discount we started with. The math is actually pretty simple, but the scale of it is just staggering. For your $20 pre-order to cover a $2,000 item, the value of your DSP has to increase by 100 times, a 100-fold increase. That's the kind of explosive growth the system has to generate for those headline-grabbing deals to actually happen. The ambition here is just massive, and I think this quote from the source material really captures it perfectly. Because in theory, any legal product or service from anywhere in the world can be sold on the platform, the creators believe the potential for growth is practically limitless, way beyond what a traditional e-commerce site could ever do. So, what's the big takeaway here? Well, the digital shopping mall is one of two things. It's either a truly revolutionary new model that completely rewires e-commerce by turning future demand into today's discounts, or it's a huge, high-stakes gamble that depends completely on achieving massive scale and exponential growth. The real question is, which one will it turn out to be?